My project 3 was turning my project 2 research paper into a children's book. Um, the new genre I chose was a children's book, and I chose it to kind of help build those skills to uh, simplify and make heavier subjects like racism and the American prison system a lot more bearable for students to intake. Um, and that's also kind of like the purpose of my new project is to make a heavier subject a lot easier to understand and go through as a child instead of having to learn like the harsh reality that I'm there. I think that stories like these kind of create a background knowledge for when the time comes for them to actually learn about it. The new audience obviously are children, probably like elementary grade, a bit younger, like K through 3, probably, maybe even 4. I don't think the audience had much impact on my medium itself other than just choosing to draw everything out digitally. I think that the choice of digital art and using Google Slides kind of is the best way to go in terms of if I were creating this for a classroom. Because if I was creating this for a class, then I would have to use it through Google Slides since we are online for the time being, and also having it digitally kind of compressed all of the supplies I would have to use into a drawing tablet and the software itself. For question 3, the new medium I chose was Autodesk Sketchbook and Google Slides. Autodesk is a free drawing software on my laptop, and I just used my Wacom tablet, drew up the pictures, and then I uploaded them to Google Slides. And the impressions of my technology, obviously, um, I've had experience with the software already, but never in this way where I had to use one file for multiple slides and pages. I usually used to just doing one and done drawing, and then I'm done with it, and then that's it. Um, but to make like 20 pages of a children's book and then keep it all in one file and then make sure I don't mess up because I couldn't go back after that. And if I did, I had to redo the whole page. It was a new experience because I'd never actually done this before. I think it was definitely easier to do the media labs through this technology. It just felt wrong because I draw so casually, I use the software so casually that using it in a more formal environment as like a assignment um, kind of created a tension between me and the software to where I was like, this means business, um, but it still feels really out of place to do my Media Lab project on my drawing software. Okay, so for question 5 and the rhetorical decisions, um, I had to make a lot of them throughout my entire process, even to like just last minute. Um, Story writing, I had to take a really formal, lengthy, informative research paper and put it into a 20-page children's book. And I definitely had to pay attention to things that I didn't really think of, like my dialogue and the tone that I was using and the vocabulary that I was using. I had to make sure that it was all grade level and make sure that it wasn't um, too much for children to look at. I think I used the word institutions. I meant to put a definition in there, like a footnote, but I didn't know if that was right or not to do. But I do. I honestly, I think I should have. I think I should be incorporating a bigger vocabulary into books like this. I think that children are definitely able to like read a word like institution, see the definition, and then go, "Oh, okay, yeah, like that's an institution." Um, and it kind of builds the vocabulary to where, like I said before, they have that background research to understand it more when they do reach that point in their life. I also had to take in the conventions of a storybook, like the plot, the story, the dialogue, I already said that, but the plot, the iambic patterns I was using, like I had to a lot to use like a poetry-ish devices, because I wanted it to flow as if it were being read aloud. So I know like when teachers are reading and the words are kind of not in a smooth and easy to read order, it kind of takes away from the story. And I was thinking about that as well, and it was kind of difficult. So the rhetorical decisions I had to do, like paying attention to the iambic patterns of my sentences, the plot, the formality of my words went down. Not that that's a bad thing. It was a lot more casual than a research paper was, definitely. And just focusing on my vocabulary and overall just kind of making a really heavy, intense subject more suitable for children, impacted a lot of like the rhetorical decisions I had to make, especially with just going from a research paper to a story. It was really different. So the challenges I faced with the technology was just adjusting from being a one and done drawing art, a one and done artist to figuring out how I'm gonna fit 20 pages onto one file and also make sure that I don't mess up drastically on one page where I have to restart it over and over. And I think that figuring out like an organization system really helped because I had to. It also helped me with my decision making because I had to really look at a page and go, okay, I'm finished, or okay, I need to work on this and kind of fix it up a lot more. And I think the easiest thing was that I was in my element. I'm an artist. I am used to drawing digitally, and I was also able to kind of build my story making skills, storytelling skills at the same time. And I think that I did a good job for a first time storybook. For question 7, I kind of just want to talk about how this project I feel like really helped build my skills as an upcoming educator, especially with creating parallels and similes in a sense to make talking to children about heavier subjects a lot easier. I think that using stories and characters and metaphors are probably the easiest thing to do for children that age because there's a lot of controversy in the curriculum with what's suitable for children that age and what isn't, especially with the progression of American history and how it's being told. It's kind of straying away from the victories of white America into what actually had happened and the reality of it, and we're going to have to figure out how to teach that in an appropriate way. And I think this really helped do with that. So overall, I am really proud of my project. I'm proud of my story, and I love looking at it and seeing how I can improve, and also just the potential of the story. I think it's really helped me as a student and understand like education a lot more, which I look forward to as I go on the year. So that's all.